So, my friend, we're back.
Hey,
Want to talk about some more travels because missing it. So missing it.
I miss that. I miss that. I miss that sort of fatigue that sort of sets into your bones when you've been on the go for about 47 and a half hours.
When you
And
don't know if you're in yesterday or tomorrow, depending on what time zone you were in and that you've just entered.
correct.
Are we in the future or are we in the past?
You have no idea
That's
how
right.
many days you may or may not have lost out of
Yeah.
your life. And all you want, actually, for the record, is for the UK border agency officials at Heathrow to just simply say, "Welcome home."
Oh
Wouldn't
man.
that be nice? Welcome home, sir.
Without saying, are you British or European?
Yes. Yeah. Without getting out the cattle prod.
Yes. Eddie, yeah.
The cattle prod of populism.
Snap on the glove. All right.
I guess for some people that's welcome home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last time we talked about our trip to Pune, one of many trips to India. So we've got many more stories of India to tell. But we were in Pune in a monsoon, and somehow that took us all the way to Australia.
It did. It did. And and I was thinking on the subject of camels, we also had a really productive trip once to the Arabian desert just outside of Dubai in the United Arab Emirates, didn't we?
In Sharjah, the Emirate
And,
of Sharjah.
and there was a camel theme in that.
We did we did see camels there as well.
That
Not that these are meant to have a camel theme.
they do in my mind.
Okay. Sorry.
I thought we'd
No.
cover.
Next up in Camels of the World.
So we were having lunch with a couple of sheikhs, weren't we?
We were, and they were so impeccably groomed. I have never seen. Well, our friend, can we say our friend Ashling,
Yes.
had determined that these must be two of the most beautifully groomed men that we have ever seen in our lives.
Yeah.
I mean,
She.
they take it very seriously. I mean the beard and the
Yeah.
very
Immaculate.
serious.
Absolutely immaculate.
They were
And
gorgeous.
very professional and really knew their stuff. And they insisted that we had to see the desert, didn't they?
Well, especially in a place like Sharjah, they're so proud
Mm,
of their emirate,
mm,
and they just they want you to experience it the way that they have such a love for it.
mm.
So they had asked us at lunch, what we'd seen, and we said the hotel, some meeting rooms.
Yep.
We're right here where we're having lunch with you,
Yep.
and then they said they wanted us to see a couple places.
Yeah. And we didn't really have a choice, did we? It was like you will be going to the desert at 4 o'clock this afternoon. A four-wheel drive will be picking you up, and that's going to happen.
Yeah, just be ready. Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever plans you may have from 4 o'clock this evening are no longer going to happen. You will be in the four-wheel drive.
Yeah. Just be in your lobby, and at 4 o'clock there was that like caravan of cars that pulled up to get us.
Yeah. Yeah.
With the emblazoned with the place we were going on the side, it said Maleha.
Yeah. And what's funny, what I remember most about that is that the vehicle that we were in was a four-wheel drive, and it was actually a Toyota Hilux, which for me, I always think of Australia and New Zealand.
Harkens back to the motherland.
Yeah.
Not the motherland.
Yeah. So I was there was a part of me that felt at home. I was in a pickup truck and we were driving.
I was later that evening. I was very grateful that we were in a four-wheel drive and that there were those security roll bars.
Yeah.
It was. Thank God for those.
Yes, because he lowered the tire pressure in the tires, drove off the road, and then started driving through the sand dunes.
So that was so crazy because they drove us. Not that Dubai is mega city. Sharjah next to Dubai is pretty small city. And then they drove us about 2 hours out into the middle of the Arabian desert. I mean, we were in the middle of nowhere. And yet here was this archaeological site from the Paleolithic era.
well before the Second World War.
It
It
was
went back.
pre 1970.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, it was Jurassic. It was pretty old.
it was.
It
Yeah.
was impressive.
And actually, what I remember about it was it showed the migration. It was on the crossroads of where a lot of the migration from Africa
Yeah,
moved north and then northeast across what is now Egypt and into what's now the Middle East. It's absolutely fascinating.
yeah. I mean, literally from the cradle of humanity, from the Rift Valley across the Middle East
Yep.
into the migration of man.
Most of it was done with Toyota Hiluxes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and camels.
and
So we saw this it's amazing archaeology, and we had that really great guide who was so passionate about the archaeology.
yeah,
Who took us around. But then the transition from this amazing archaeological site, then we walked outside the building, and then they had our cars lined up, but all the tires were flat.
yeah,
And that's what you were talking about.
yep.
And we were all like, why are all the tires flat in our car?
And that was because to do a sand dune drive, you need to have flat tires.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
it's always nice when that's explained. But yeah, we got there.
Who knew? I mean, they knew, but we didn't know. So it was just about sunset, and we start heading off on this wild ride through the sand dunes in the Arabian desert.
Mm-hmm.
These guys were maniacs. I mean, their whole goal is to make you scream.
Yeah, and they did. And they drove us past some camels.
You're gonna, my friend, let go of let the camels go. Just. Oh gosh, yeah. I think that you have a stuffed camel from that trip, if I remember.
I think I did actually. Yeah, that's a whole other story. But then then it was dinner, and we were driven up onto this ridge with this massive carpeted area in the middle of the desert with a huge open flame barbecue and flaming torches and cushions, and we were served tea and given a barbecue under the stars, and it was like being
private
barbecue
just for us.
And it was like being in a film.
And if you picture a Disneyland setting of Aladdin in the Arabian desert with like the carpets and the music and that's what they set up for us. I mean,
but without the cultural appropriation, because we were actually there.
So we didn't need Disney to make it Arabian. Yes, true.
Well, and nobody had Robin Williams' voice.
No, they didn't. Yeah. Well, that one chef, no, he didn't.
Yeah.
So these guys cooked us our own private dinner as we lounged on carpets in the desert on the side of a mountain.
Yeah.
And then the astronomer came with his telescope the size of my living room.
Well, it was like a
London living room, but still.
But it's still a big telescope. It was like a portable Hubble.
It was. It was.
And it was. I think that was the bit of the evening where it just got embarrassing, didn't it? It was like, actually, this is what. You kind of thought, has there been a mistake in the booking? Do they think that we're the family?
They're like, all right, Prince Harry, you're up first, and we're like, no, we're not this. There's been a mistake here.
Yeah, I've never flown a Hawk, so I'm not sure if you got the right person. It was nuts. But we saw the rings of Saturn.
Oh,
we saw
crystal clear, like they were just hanging in a mobile. I mean, it was so bizarre.
But I think the bit that got me, I don't know whether it's a nebula or a cluster of stars, or if that's what a nebula is. But there was this thing that looked like a very, very faint star.
Yeah.
He told us the name of it. He told us how many light years away from Earth it was. I think it was something like 200 light years from Earth, or something daft. 200
billion. I mean,
what's the difference?
Yeah.
The chicken was amazing in the barbecue.
The lamb kebabs.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
but he zoomed in on this faint little star, and he showed us that it's actually an entire galaxy.
Yes. Yes.
And I saw this little mini image of a whole galaxy. And I swear to God, it's like there's religious experiences, and then there's something like that. And it was nuts. And the barbecue was delicious as well. I mean, it was the whole experience was like, this is much. No beer, but it was fun.
No. We did. We respected all cultural norms.
Absolutely.
But like when you say religious experience, I mean scientifically religious experience in my view. But I mean we were literally. I feel like I'm really stoned right now. We were like a speck of dust in the universe, man. Like we were like.
we were. It was like, and this probably sounds really bad as a Westerner, but it was almost like a Carl Sagan documentary meets Aladdin.
Meets Amy and Ivor.
Yeah.
So it was like a three. The three came together. So it was like real science with Disneyfied cartoon.
Yeah.
With synergistic innovation thought shower.
That was it. Yeah, with and no low-hanging fruit because we were in the desert, but it was like a Pink Floyd guitar solo on a carpet. It was just crazy.
Yeah. You know what? That was some crazy shit, my friend.
Yeah.
Some crazy shit.